elephant workouts. Do you have a foam roller? Well, if you do, you're going to enjoy this exercise that we're going to do today. It's all involving some Pilates moves with the foam roller. I am using a short one. You can use a long one as well, but it's a little bit easier with the shorter. And if you don't have one at all, grab a hand towel or a bath towel that is about this width. Join me on the floor and we will be there in 1 second. Okay, so as I mentioned, you want to have your foam roller ready and of course a mat or some kind of soft surface. You will not need to have shoes on. It's totally optional. You could go bare feet. I am using some grip socks, which will help me as we do some of the exercises from the floor. So we're actually going to start in this seated position and grab your foam roller. You might have typically used this just to get out some knots, but this is also a great tool that you can add into some of your exercises. So holding it about shoulder width, so you can see I'm using that shorter one as I mentioned, and just lift and lower overhead. So you will feel some stretching and some rejuvenation from this, but right now we're gripping it with just kind of a mild pressing, and we're going to intensify that as we do some of the exercises. Lift for 2 more. And notice that you're sitting up a little bit taller as you bring your arms overhead. Keep that tall posture and you can kind of feel your sits bones as you're in that seated position. Now we're going to twist side to side, and again this is just to kind of stretch and wake up the body a little bit. So my sits bones, my posture is staying just like we set ourselves up for. And I'm feeling a little twisting in my waist as you go side to side. And we're going to cross over for 4 and 3. And then, of course, 1 more each way. 2 and 1. All right. Take your foam roller to the floor. And as I mentioned, if you don't have one, you could be using that towel. But we are going to roll forward just to stretch. You can just walk your hands out if you don't have that roller. So go ahead and roll it forward. And your head starts to follow, but I'm still gazing ahead of it as much as I can. So I'm not arching in my back too much. My back is pretty straight. And what I mean when I say that is we're not curving the back any further by looking down towards your legs. So go ahead and roll out 3 more times. Big deep breath in, taking that nice big stretch. And back again. Hopefully it won't slip on the floor too much like mine just did. Roll it back in. And then last one, bring it forward. And big stretch. And then roll it back. Now we're going to switch positions so that your feet are on the floor, knees are bent, and bring your shoulders down to the floor. All right, so hopefully you got yourself set up there. Just relax your upper body on the floor. Feel it nice and get nice and heavy. And bring the roller up and then just bring your arms forward just slightly so you're at a little tilt, and then bring your legs up to table. Now I'm going to bring it further down so that it's right on top of my shins, and just take some leg taps right here, bringing it back to the same spot every time. So we only have 2 things that we'll do to get the legs ready for a little bit more moving, because as you know, you're here because you need a nice quick short workout, and take 1 more each way. So that's why we're only doing a couple of warm-up exercises. Now keep that roller right there on top, or your towel, and then just bring your leg forward, slide your knee under, and notice I'm kind of hovering the roller. I really want it here just so that I have an awareness that I'm bringing my legs back to the same spot every time. So foot and leg is extending. Bring it all the way down to the floor. Maybe tapping, maybe just a quick hover. And my legs are really starting to feel nice and awake now. We're going to do one more each leg. Keeping your lower back pulled into the floor. And go ahead and rest your roller, bending your knees into your chest. All right, so here we go with a little bit more pressure on your roller. Go ahead and bring your feet to the floor. And arms are above your head again with that roller. This time we're directly straight up. Now, push into your roller, or, and I want to keep referring it just a couple more times, if you're using a towel, you actually want to be pulling, so you have that same feeling of some resistance. Go ahead and bring your arms right down to the tops of your legs, back up and down, so you really can feel the muscles working here, as if you could take that roller and crush it like it was a can. And last 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. And then bring it right down. Bring your elbows to the floor. From here, we will press directly above your head and down. Again, create that resistance. So my palms are pushing in towards the roller. My fingertips are just kind of lightly at the top, as you can see. And then shoulder press up and down. Up. Up. And I should say chest press really, because we're not going up overhead. Sorry, my bad. Keep pressing. You get the idea. Shoulders are definitely still working, but we're doing a little more emphasis for the chest. Oh, keep pushing into your roller. It's amazing how much you can feel the muscles with this really light prop, and bring it all the way back down. Okay, now we're going to get the legs a little more involved. We already did some leg stretches. So take your roller and place it directly under both feet. So you can kind of adjust here if you need to. Now the first thing we're going to do is just roll it forward. So it's going to transfer over to the back of your heels and then bring it up. So we're not going too far with this one, but I just want you to get the feeling of what it feels like under your feet. Now, last one, and then make sure that it's right in the middle of your feet. And we're doing some small raises off the floor. So arms are by your sides, relax your shoulders, and just lift and lower. So notice I did not take it super high, but I'm already getting that half bridge work in. I feel like it feels like a whole bridge with that roller there. Make sure it's staying right in the center of your feet so that you're not going to slip. Up for 3 and 2 and last 1, and then lower down. All right, keep it right there because we're going back to that position. Big deep breath in, exhale out, and lift and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right away, lift your right leg. Lower down, lift 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, lift your left leg. And down. Lift 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower and lift. And maybe your legs are not lifting as straight as you would like. That is totally okay because sometimes we're tight. We're just getting that stretch in here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift. And each movement is very careful, making sure that we don't lose that roller. Last one, and lower down. Take your feet, rolling it back in so that your hands can find your roller, and go ahead and take it out. All right, now we're going to play with it by bringing it in this position, bringing it right between your knees. So your feet are going to feel a little bit different here because they're completely flat on the floor. But again, we're going to lift and hold for 8 on the first time. So here we go. Squeeze your roller. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower down. Now, after you do the next couple, I want you to just do a heel raise while you're squeezing your roller. So let's try the first one together. Ready? We lift 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Lift your heels and squeeze that roller. So my bottom slightly came off the floor. Lift higher this time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Lift your heels. Squeeze the roller. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. And let's do 2 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Keep squeezing your roller. Lift the heels. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. One more. 4. Squeeze, 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 and lower. And then lift your heels. 4, 3, 2, and lower down. Excellent. Quite the inner thigh work on that one. All right. Now, we're going to flip over so that we can get some core work from that position. So slowly flip yourself over and I'll meet you on the other side. All right, so great job. You get yourself over. You're still with me. Now, I don't like it directly under the arms. However, you will get quite the exercise if we put it under our shins. So bring it back and carefully bring your legs up on it. But you want it under your shins, not under your knees. So make sure you get that positioning correct. Now we are a little higher and there's quite a bit of body weight here, but we're going to stick with it. What I want you to do is find your floor with your toes. All right, now lift right off your roller. 3, 2, 1, and then lower back down. Make sure that it's under your shins every time. So I'm just going to adjust here if I need to. All right, ready? So we're already high. Back is nice and straight and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, my roller moved. So go ahead and adjust. But get used to that adjusting because we're going to add that in as well in a second. All right, ready? Let's do one more. Lift 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Not too much adjusting that time. Now, go ahead and bring it backward under your shins. So you can use your legs to do that. You can release your feet from the floor. And from here, tap to your leg and then switch sides. So this is where I said we would get used to that adjusting. So you want to make sure you don't roll. Make sure it stays under your shins. Whoo, this is a nice basic move. But we are definitely feeling that core. Last 2 and 1. Good. Slowly walk your hands back, bring your feet to the floor, and stretch it out. Okay, so one more thing we will do while you're here, bring it back so it ends up lower on your shins. So there's a little bit of playing with this. Maybe we're not used to doing it this way, so you can try this once and then try it again. From here, we're going to walk out but leave it there under your shin so you end up in your full plank. Ah, nice. So you're just doing a little rocking back and forth here. Little intensity. You can do it. I'm confident in you. Even if you try just a couple seconds, work on it on your own and then come back to it and bring your knees to the floor and release your wrists down to your forearms. Give it a wiggle and go ahead and roll up. All right, we're flipping over one more time before we finish. So bring it right under your knees as if you were at a massage place when they put that under there. And you just want to make sure it stays under your knees as you come down. And from here, we will do some chest lifts. So you're going to leave your legs right there. They're not fully bent at your knees. Bring your hands up right behind. And we're going to lift for 8. And then we'll add in a couple things just like we did in our other sequences. So up. And 2. So you'll notice with the leg positioning here, you're starting to feel a little bit in your lower abs. Keep your elbows out to the sides here as much as possible. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, and then lower it down. Now, leave your legs there, but cross at your ankles, and we'll lift and hold for 4. Ready? Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Lift the leg, circle 3, 2, 1, and lower down. One more time on this side. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower, lift and circle. 3, opposite circle this time, 2, and 1. Bring your leg down, but cross the other way, so we free up the other leg. Ready? 4, 3, 2, 1, lower, lift, 3, 2, 1. So just some little tiny circles as if it was the size of a $50. Lift 4, 3. My hands are holding onto my head here. Lower down and lift. 3, 2. Opposite way and lower down. Release your arms. You can bring your feet to the mat if it feels more comfortable, and grab your roller. And we'll take just a couple stretches for your arms. So very mild touch again on your roller. Down and then up overhead. And then up. Back overhead again. So something a little bit different here, not traditional sequence of Pilates by any means, but a little bit of Pilates base. Just bring it over your shins, pull it in for a squeeze. But what I really like about it is you're getting a great workout and stretching with the roller because it provides great resistance. Let me come up. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about your foam roller or you're getting one, let me know. There's lots of ways to grab one. They're not that expensive. Hopefully if you do have one, you're able to do some foam rolling, which is a really, really great way to relax. But regardless, meet me again soon and I will see you soon. Thank you.